All right, what's up, YouTube? I'm out here with my friend Nathan from school, and we're gonna try and do a little herping tonight. So we're gonna do some night stuff. I know that in one of my earlier videos I was at this locale and I promised that we try to come out here at night and look for some amphibians in the vernal pools. So we're definitely gonna do some of that. And we're also gonna, out here we're gonna road cruise. We don't really road cruise this road because there's no really good place for you to pull your car off the road. So we're gonna road walk for a little bit and see if we can't turn anything up. It's been a lot warmer here, so hopefully we actually find something. So I'm excited. Let's get to it. All right, so since we can hear peepers down here, this is a location of one of the vernal pools that I did some work at for my thesis research. So I haven't been here in a long time. I don't know how dry it is or how wet it is, so we're just gonna walk down and see what we can find. I mean, you hear those calls right now. Those are spring peepers, so tiny little frogs making that noise. So we're gonna go down and check it out. All right, so we're down here in the vernal pool, and as you can see, it's dried up quite a bit. So we're gonna just kind of poke around. We know that there's spring peepers down here. Like I said before, those are tiny little frogs. And they make a lot of racket down here. So all those little peep sounds that you're going to hear throughout the video, just like that, are going to be those frogs. So we're going to see if we can rustle up a couple. Like I said, everything's pretty dry down here right now, but there is some moisture left, so hopefully we'll be able to find something. All right, so like I said, we're checking the vernal pools, and we did walk on the road for a little while, but we didn't see anything. So we stopped at a vernal pool on the way in to drop some equipment so that we can actually maybe see some of these amphibian larvae. And I'm always touching my face in the videos because I just can't help it. But so we're gonna walk over to that first vernal pool, and I can pretty much guarantee there's gonna be some marbled salamander larvae in there, so hopefully we're going to be able to catch some out for you guys and we'll get a good look at them. All right, so as you can see, we're in one of the vernal pools right now. And a vernal pool is it's a really interesting ecosystem. It's a temporary wetland. So basically, this is sort of a low area in this forest out here, where it's sort of a depression in the earth. And most of the year, or at least part of the year, this is a dry area. So basically, all you have here is leaf litter that's falling off of these trees and everything else. But then in the springtime, when the precipitation begins to get heavier, this area fills up. As you can see, it's full of water right now. And we're here sort of later in the season when this is beginning to dry up. So the diversity is definitely not as great right now as it would be earlier in the spring. What we're hearing are spring peepers, we're hearing green frogs, we've seen some larvae of marbled salamanders that live in these pools, and we'll hopefully be able to show you guys some of that soon. But if we come earlier in the year, we'll be able to see all kinds of life that's in these pools. So there's these little invertebrates in the pools that are called fairy shrimp. They're really cool. They have these like bright red and blue colorations, almost look like little neon tetras if you've ever been in a pet store and seen those fish. They're really cool. There's also a bunch of invertebrates that call this pool home too, and they include stoneflies, mayflies, caddisflies. Really cool. So we're just going to keep walking around and keep looking. Even if it's a fail, it's going to be funny. I got him. All right. Check that guy out. Big dude. Whoa. About ready to lose him.
I'll do that.
All right, so as you can see, I was able to grab a frog. It can be really tough to catch these guys, but this is a really cool one. Much larger frog than what we were talking about earlier. I was talking about the little tiny spring peepers. This is what we call a green frog. The scientific name is Lithobates clamitans. Used to be rana. Some people still call it rana. It's a whole thing. I'm going to go with Lithobates. Really cool little frog in that group of frogs known as true frogs. So you have these really long jumping legs, since that is their preferred form of locomotion. They jump around. Everybody knows that frogs jump. These are the characteristically jumping frogs. One of two pretty large ranid frog species that we have here, the green frog and the bullfrog, and they are sometimes mistaken for one another. Of course, if you know their calls, they are very different, so you won't be able to mistake them that way, but sometimes the look is very similar. And I've gone over this in another video before where I caught a bullfrog. This time I have a green frog. And the main difference between them that you can tell the difference is these dorsolateral folds. So these true frogs, most of them, have a line that runs from the back of their eye all the way. Is that better?
Yeah.
Have a line that runs all the way back from the back of their eye, typically all the way down their body. You can see that distinct line that runs right there. And that's his eardrum there, known as the tympanum. So in these green frogs, that dorsolateral fold is present, and it runs from the back of the eye all the way back down the main part of the body. In a bullfrog, that dorsolateral fold is what they call absent, although it actually is there, and it runs down basically just to right here and goes down behind the tympanum or the eardrum. These guys are really cool frogs. They do get a good bit bigger than this, but this is a good size. And he's just hanging out here, letting out a call every now and then, hoping maybe to find a girlfriend, possibly. And other than that, he's just wanting to eat anything that'll fit in his mouth. So a really cool frog. And just like... that made for a really cool shot. That is 9 times out of 10 how they get released out here. Is that you loosen your grip just a little bit, and then they're gone. So that ought to make for some really entertaining footage for you guys, but I hope you enjoyed seeing that frog. We're going to continue to see what else we can find. So, as you can see, we were able to capture a couple of these marbled salamander larvae. They are perfectly adapted to the aquatic life, with their highly keeled tails for swimming and external gills for respiration. As they grow, their features develop and begin to resemble their adult counterparts more and more. These larvae hatch out in the early spring when precipitation fills the vernal pools, and they are one of the dominant predators in the pool from that point on, feeding on invertebrates such as fairy shrimp, cladocerans, and copepods. They share these nursery habitats with other salamander and amphibian species, including spotted salamanders, Jefferson salamanders, spring peepers, wood frogs, gray tree frogs, pickerel frogs, and of course, we've already seen green frogs. Oh, and we can't forget the red-spotted newts. Okay, there we go. So what is he, Nathan? Bear in mind, people, that we are in a vernal pool, which is typically fishless by definition. So this fish definitely got here probably during a really brief flooding event when we had a lot of rain or something. And he's just doing really good in here. Look at how chunky.
Very, very fat.
What kind of fish is it, Nathan?
It looks like a green sunfish, Lepomus cyanellus, but it has some other characteristics that...
Could it be a hybrid?
Where it might be a hybrid, which is mixed with another species of the same genus.
Do you see that black, like it almost looks like a bluegill, that black spot?
Yeah, not too bad. It's...
Do you think it could be? Do they hybridize with bluegill?
They'll all the
Lepomus
will pretty much hybridize with each other. But he's got a little bit of faint orange around this bit right here. This is called the opercle flap.
Yep.
So it's very common for greens to have that, as well as these blue electric streaks along their cheek, protruding from the mouth past the eye. So go ahead and let him go.
Yeah. Yeah, he's literally a fish out of water right now. He needs to get back in. Yep. And we literally just caught him by hand, which is just crazy. Alright guys, so it's a different day here, obviously. I didn't film an outro for that little herping excursion that you just witnessed the other night, so I'm filming it today here at home. As always, I just wanted to thank everybody so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this little trip out into the vernal pool habitats here. They're really just amazing little ecosystems, and definitely hope to bring you some more content from there in the future. It'll probably be next year though, because we're looking at having those ecosystems dry up here very soon. So again, I really appreciate you watching, and if you liked the video, please do like, comment, and consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you do not miss an upload. Again, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you next time.